Hello, this is Ben Moore, Finance Manager for the Office of Community Assistance, and this video will help walk you through budgeting for equipment and supplies. This video addresses budget line items 104 and 105 in the program support category, and budget line items 304 and 305 in the administration category.
The equipment and supply lines are grouped together to include both program support and direct admin lines. Pay special attention to what items specifically are required to be charged to admin, or apply those portions of cost that pertain to admin staff to the direct admin lines. The items that must be charged to admin for the equipment category are equipment with a cost per unit of $5,000 or greater, purchased for the purpose of administration of the grant, and please remember that prior approval from DCEO is required. The minimum requirements for the cost grid detail for equipment are that you must list the quantity and cost per unit of each item and do not just include a lump sum total. The minimum requirements for the narrative section are that you must describe the reason this equipment is needed for this program and how the cost is divided among other grants in this program or across all grant programs if applicable. The items to include generally in the equipment category are items that have a cost per unit of $5,000 or greater, and this should only include equipment or vehicles purchased by the agency for the grant, and it requires prior approval from DCEO. Rented or leased equipment or equipment maintenance contract cost must be budgeted in the contractual line item, which is 106 for program support and 306 for administration. For the supplies category, the items that must be charged to administration are as follows: office supplies, postage, training materials, copy paper, expendable items such as books, handheld tape recorders, laptops, personal computers, etc., for administrative staff specifically. Please note that training materials are also allowable in the training and education, line 112, and for grants that have this line item, T&TA, which is line 402. Also charged to admin should be everyday sanitary supplies such as toilet paper, paper towels, soap, air fresheners, and Kleenex. Also, building maintenance, janitorial supplies, only if they are purchased by the agency for use by agency employees or contractors and not included in the cost of a contract. The minimum requirements for the cost grid for the supplies category are for computers, laptops, printers. You need to list the quantity and cost per unit of each item and not just a lump sum total. For routine small cost items like office supplies, pens, pencils, that kind of thing, it is acceptable to list a lump sum. The minimum requirements for the narrative section of the supplies category are as follows. For computers, laptops, printers, you need to describe for which staff the items are being purchased. For any general item descriptions like office supplies, you need to list the general items that will be included. You need to provide a brief explanation of how the costs were calculated. For example, were they based on last year's expenses or an average of the last 2 years' expenses, that type of thing. Items to generally include in the supply category are as follows. Include computers, laptops, printers under $5,000 per unit and general office supplies. You can include COVID-19 specific items, such as personal protection items. For CSBG only, you can include the purchase of refrigerators or freezers that are to be used for a food pantry if the cost is under $5,000 per unit. For weatherization only, you can include small tools that are needed on the job sites. Do not include paper towels, silverware, napkins, bottled water, and coffee. These items are not allowable grant costs. That concludes this video. Please remember that there are separate videos available as guides to completing each of the individual cost tabs in the budget spreadsheet. Thanks for watching.